Today we're going to be talking about 10 potential breakout players that we can draft, pick up, strategize over, maybe even fade because we like somebody else that we talked about on another day. But we're going to be going over this information to help you get ready for this season, to help you build your teams, and these suggestions, this news and nuggets on these players will keep you informed with what you want to do. And you need to hit that subscribe button right now so you can stop missing out on this information on these players, so you can help work the waiver wire, build your lineups, draft your teams, get yourself to the championship. And it's all going to be right here. But let's dig in and look at these 10 players. And the first guy we're looking at is Anthony Richardson, QB 11 and ADP per Underdog Fantasy. We haven't talked about him much in these last few weeks. We talked about him a little bit in the offseason, redraft-wise, a lot for Dynasty and rookie drafts, but I got to bring him up. We went over his clips, and the preseason wasn't the greatest, but he did have some moments that looked good as well. Remember, he's 244 pounds and runs a 4.43, 99th percentile speed score, and he does not have to be good at the quarterback position as a rookie to be relevant in fantasy, to be very productive in fantasy, because he has the Konami code. That makes him risky because you're scared every week. What if he throws 4 interceptions? What if he throws 5 interceptions? What if this? What if that? But the thing about this, he's QB 11 in ADP, about QB2 value. However, in ADP, there's a lot of other quarterbacks that you may like, maybe like a Dak Prescott or somebody else that's a little bit more safer. But when you're making this investment, you're shooting for tip-top upside, league-winning upside, because he has the goods in his game to really break off fantasy points on the ground. He chucks deep balls like nobody else. Yes, he's rough around the edges because he's a developmental quarterback. It's going to take him some time to develop. We're not expecting him to be Peyton Manning year one. Nobody's expecting him to ever be Peyton Manning. But we're not expecting him to be at his best right now. We're expecting him to be on the field, learning, breaking off some plays here and there, doing some things. But he's got the intangibles to be fantasy relevant. And if you did not draft him this year or in your draft, and you're interested still, or you're paying attention to him because you like football and stuff, and you want him on your team, but you're like, there was just other values I really wanted, look at the schedule here. Look at the bye week on week 11. Then look at the matchups here in the back half of the season, playoff time. You got to think he's got more experience under his belt. He's got more opportunity under his belt. And he could be really kicking it here in the back half of the season. You got Tennessee, Atlanta, Vegas on there, Tampa Bay. We got Pittsburgh. And some of those games, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, some tougher defenses and stuff like that. But the ball might be moving more in that game as well. The point script could be a little bit higher in that game as well, and he might have to be on the move. Those wide receivers might be locked down a little bit more, and he has to run it a little bit more. So, again, objectively, he's going to be in some good opportunities after this bye week. So you may want to buy low there if he's not looking good, if he's not playing to expectations, or if the fantasy points are off and on, volatile, or whatever's going on. If it's not looking good, if it's not living up to the upside, and you're interested, this is your buying window. This is how we're going to strategize with him, especially if you didn't draft him. If you drafted him, you're drafting because you want that pure upside, and that's understandable. If you fade him, it's because there's other players on the board. That's what we're talking about. But next is Kadarius Toney, wide receiver 37 ADP. It did not move much on Underdog Best Ball, but we also have a lot of degenerate drafters there who just draft team after team after team, and they're really putting stacks together. But when you look at home league drafts, which you do not have ADP for, ADP on the sites and stuff isn't really real. It's based off mock drafts with no money on the line or anything like that. I expect him to be a lot cheaper than that. I expected he was going later in drafts than what his ADP was suggesting. And the thing about him is he was efficient with the Chiefs when he was on the field starting to heat up. Injuries have been the big thing about his career. He's injured now, coming back from an injury now. Should be on the field sooner than later. When that happens, everyone's going to be intrigued about him, wanting him on their team, and we want the pass catchers of this offense. They got a lot of good young pass catchers who are developing, and some of them are going to take strides, and some of them are just going to be on the field a little bit, and we want them. And Kadarius Toney is a guy that has some experience in this offense, has done some things, has some double-digit fantasy point performances with this team. So he's a guy you can't really sleep on. But Kadarius Toney, at cost, is a value considering he's a pass catcher on the Chiefs offense nonetheless. And next we're looking at Tua Tagovailoa, QB10 ADP. Miami, 15th in plays, 61% pass rate, 8.9 yards per attempt, 50% deep ball rate for Tua. So the thing is, the plays ran should increase if he's healthy on the field. When he's on the field, the team's going to be moving the ball faster because the offense can get set quicker. So we're going to get more plays ran. And he has Waddle. And he has Tyreek Hill. We also have Devin A-Chain, who runs in the 4-3s and who is very explosive. This is a very explosive team. It's fast-paced. They like to chuck it downfield. They can really put up some numbers. You're getting him around QB2 range. You can really play around with the matchups with him if you got two quarterbacks on your roster. And he went in a part of the draft where you're chasing the upside at quarterback, has a little bit of mobility. That's the thing you're liking about Tua, but he's also at the quarterback position. If you're in one QB leagues, it's a onesie position. You're only starting one. So you're just playing the matchup, seeing what happens, and you're just seeing what the value is going to come your way. 2 QB, it's more important that you get a top-tier guy and then another guy that has some upside. That way you can fill out those values. But again, 2 is a guy you need to pay attention to due to the pace of play, and then he's got some damn good weapons. Next, Justin Herbert, QB6 ADP. He's not sleeping. He's already broke out. But the thing about this, he played injured last year, and he kind of slipped in value a little bit because of that. QB6 ADP, I think he should be up there with the big boys because he's got some weapons. They throw it a lot. 41 pass attempts per game. He chucks it downfield. He's going to be doing it again. He's got a pass-catching running back who's explosive. And QB6 ADP is cheap for what he can do and the consistency. And if you're looking for a good quarterback and you want to get good wide receivers and running backs too, and you really want to play the market and get into those nooks and crannies in your draft, or you want to trade for a top quarterback and you don't want to overpay, Justin Herbert might get it done for you. Next, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver 8 ADP. Everyone's looking for him to break out officially this year, the huge breakout. And the 23% target share, 28% share of the air yards says that he's on the verge of that. And now we have Aaron Rodgers there. He had over 1,000 yards as a rookie, which is a good sign. That's a good sign. Good rookies tend to hit the ground running in year 2. We should see him hit the ground running. But at wide receiver 8, I just want to let you know, if you got him around that price tag, you got a good wide receiver at a good discount. And I wanted to let you know that. Next, Ramondre Stevenson, RB9, ADP. Damian Harris gone. Ezekiel Elliott in. But still, he was third among all running backs in targets last year. Heavily targeted in the passing game. Was consistent. Very dependable. Also gave you spike weeks, a running back that you wanted, and you're catching him at a cheaper discount because they kept talking about bringing in running backs all offseason. They brought in Zeke, and his price did not bump up according to the production you were receiving last year. The Patriots narrative is you can't trust their running backs, and it's probably still true, but Ramondre Stevenson has proven to get it done over a decent sample size, and you're catching him at a good price tag. You can get your good wide receiver, maybe even another player depending on how far it falls, and then you can get him second round, third round, wherever he's at. Home league ADP is not real. So if you draft him, tell me where he went in your draft. Next, Chris Olave, wide receiver 2 ADP. In some leagues, he's going early third round. Honestly, I think he should be bumped up to the early second round of ADP of your draft. I think he needs that kind of value. And if you were able to get him in the late second round, early third round range, I think you got a wide receiver of value here. I think he's going to command air yards. He's going to command target share. Derek Carr is going to give him more accurate targets. He's going to be healthy this year. He's going to be a firecracker. He's going to give you those boom weeks. The true breakout's probably going to happen this year. Even though he technically broke out as a rookie this year, I think we're going to get even more this year here in 2023. Cam Akers, RB23 and ADP. The thing about him is he was strong on the back half of the season, and you're drafting him around RB3 price tag. So if he does not perform to that and he's just a little bit lower because his offense could be a lot slower, not moving the ball as much, then you're going to still get him at cost, which is fine. However, those spike weeks are real because he is athletic. He is explosive. The thing that worries me is the injury history, and he could be off and on due to that. That could rear its head again, and that might be the reason why I diversified other players. But again, I really want to point out he had a strong end of the season last year. They did not bring in any running backs of consequence. And Cam Akers, if you're drafting him, you're drafting touches and potential boom weeks. Next, Drake London, wide receiver, 23 in ADP, 29% target share, 29% share of the air yards. We also got Desmond Ritter there, who's in another year of his development. We should expect London to continue to see target share, to continue to see targets downfield. That should add to his fantasy value. Also, first-round rookie going into his second year of his career. Good rookies, good players who are young tend to blossom more year 2, year 3. Even if they were really good as a rookie, that next year, you can always tell it's a little bit better. Even in production or in the highlights or in the film, you can just see it because they're more adapted to the game. But those are 10 potential breakouts that we're looking at today that we're strategizing around. We're either drafting them, picking them up, trading for them, seeing where we could potentially pick them up in season, maybe even fading them because we like somebody else, and that's good because these are just suggestions. This is just information to give you ideas of what you want to do, and some of these players you're going to like, and some of them you might not like, and that's all good too because we're going to cover 10 every day until the start of the season. But make sure you hit that subscribe button and stop missing out on this information because it's going to help you build your fantasy teams. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.